the boiler, or the burner came off the boiler, hit me in my torso and everything, bruised my internal organs and stuff. The bruises didn't start showing up for a little while, you know. And life lighted out. It took, I guess from the time the 911 call went in, it took 43 minutes for the first responders to get there. So I hope you guys paid attention in the med classes. If you didn't, get some training and everything, because you are your own first responder. I don't remember, the last thing I remembered is, you guys ever watch movies where you see like things in slow motion that, you know, should be like in the Matrix, the bullets flying or this and that or whatever? So the last thing I remember is just seeing a big blue-green flame go like this from my feet and race towards the walls. And that's it. I guess when the first responders got there and everything, they knew that I was gonna have to be life flighted out or whatever. I guess I was ambulatory at the time, and he killed a guy outside the building trying to help him or something. Like I said, I don't remember any of this. It's just stuff that they told me afterwards or whatnot. But so I guess I got combative with the paramedics, which is, I guess, pretty typical with the head injury. They put me under and life flighted me out. That was just the beginning. You know, back up a little bit. John and I met when I was in the Marine Corps. It was Recon Marine, 1st Recon Battalion. In the Marine Corps, I remember when I was going through RIP school, which is a Recon Indoctrination program. Everything is earned. Nothing is given. Everything is fucking earned. I remember I thought it was going to be so cool when we got our little rubber Raven crafts, you know, the Zodiacs, the F-470s. Because, man, I've seen these in the movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, chalking up with the black cannon paint and getting into all shit. Yeah, we got the boats, but guess what? We didn't get to put them in the water for like a fucking week. But we took those boats with us everywhere, with our instructors in them, and carried them, because you had to earn the right to put them in the water. So after a week, when we finally got to put them in the water, all right, guess what? We're still not doing high-speed shit yet, because you haven't earned the paddles yet. So you're going to snap into a rappel line with bowlines in line tied to it. When you're snapping, you start finning and pulling your instructors around in the Pacific Ocean. Then you get your paddles. And then that part's called motor appreciation. The whole reason why I tell you that is because I was now, whether I knew it or not, I was accustomed to this process that life was about to hand me. So I wake up in a hospital a few days later, and or at least as far as I can remember. And I'm just like, what the hell happened? Where am I? Type of thing, you know. They didn't really realize at first, I guess, all the cognitive issues that I had at the moment, because I could bullshit my way through questions. And I didn't know that I had a brain injury at the time, or whatever, so to speak. But like, they would ask me, okay, what day is it? And I could see over the nurse's shoulder, and I could read the board. And that was cool, because I thought, I was like, all right, I got, you know, I'm just fake it till I make it type of situation, you know what I mean? And so we did this for a day or two, and then they kind of caught on to that, and they had said, okay, well, what year is it? 1994. What year do you think it is? It was fucking 2004, you know? So they said, okay, so they took me into, with another doctor, to do a battery of tests to test my cognition. And I couldn't do 2 plus 2. I couldn't do simple addition, subtraction, or anything like that. I could read words, like they had me look see Spot run, like literally that was I remember, see Spot run. Who is Spot? What's he doing? I don't fucking know. I mean, but you know, I could see the word, so it was like it was a very enlightening moment to me that I was kind of fucked. The very last test they gave me, if I remember correctly, there was 5 cards, and they were about this big, or so, kind of like those Jello playing cards for little kids, except there was a snowman in one, a full snowman, and then another one was a poem with the hat and the coal and all that stuff, and then a process of the snowman melted. in the other cards, and they were shuffled, and they told me to put them in the right sequence. I couldn't do it, and I lost it. And the doctor said, well, basically, he didn't have a lot of bedside manner. And I'll tell you through this process, I learned why they call it a practice, a lot of them. I'll tell you that. But he didn't have a lot of bedside manner, and I mean, sort of, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. I started cussing him out Morse code, And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, how come I can do that, but I can't do this? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, different parts of the brain, different things are stored, but what had happened from the injury was the blood and everything in the brain had drowned out a lot of my neural pathways that connected the different parts of the brain. So even though there was information there, I couldn't get it from there. There was no road, there was no path. So 4 or 5 years, so that was in November 1st, 2004. December 23rd that year, I started losing the ability to walk. Because when I went through, I injured my spinal cord with it, and I had to have spinal cord surgery. Well, not yet, that's coming, but let's see, C1 through C6. Your brainstem goes down into C1 and C2. So I ended up they found out about that I was having problems there. I ended up having to go to Craig Hospital in Denver, which is a great place. If you ever know anybody with a spinal cord injury or brain injury, highly recommend it. Great people out there, great staff. Went out there, had my spinal cord surgery and stuff like that. Everything. Been to California Center for Neural Skills for 7 months, one time. But basically in and out of hospitals, doing rehabilitation therapies, speech, occupational, educational, physical, balance. My vestibular system was so messed up that watching birds fly through the air would make me dry heave within a while. I would just get very sick. My oldest son, I couldn't teach him how to throw a ball. But anyways, I tell you all that because a little bit later, I know life just keeps coming at you, right? And you got to get stronger, and you got to do things to get stronger. And there was a time I was like, man, I don't want to be here. You got to get better? I hope so. Fucking hope so. And I was like, really, Lance? This is a conversation I'm having with myself. Hope's not going to fucking get you there, son. Your habits will. Start doing your habits. Start working on your habits. What are you doing daily? When I started taking track of that, watching guys like John, other people on YouTube and things, and started teaching myself, because after I hit my maximum medical improvement, my wife at the time, Parker's mom, a wonderful lady, she threw in the towel. And that's when life really got hard. Because now, so with the frontal lobe injury that I had, because we develop our adult personalities as we grow. They say the age of adolescence is kind of extended now. Used to think it was like 18 you're done. We're saying that frontal lobe still develops into your mid-20s or so, where you develop your adult personality. Well, my frontal lobe was fucked up. It sent me back to about 6 years old. I used to think things like sticking gum in my wife's hair might be funny, or spraying Parker with his baby bottle because it's squirted, like that when he wants it or whatever. I mean, there was no filter, really. So, where was I? Sorry. Frontal lobe. Was it? Oh, yeah. So, here I was, in my mid-30s at this time, and I was alone. And I had money to pay my bills and everything else, but I didn't have the facilities to do it. I couldn't manage it or anything. If I went to the store to get some deodorant and toothpaste, I'd be gone for like 3 or 4 hours, come back, no deodorant, no toothpaste. maybe $1,500 worth of DVDs and shit that I didn't need or didn't go for, and stuff like that. I mean, I was a train wreck. But so I realized after that, I was homeless for a while, living in a van. In fact, I had a van at John's old shop when I was living out here for a while. And basically, like I said, it wasn't the money deals. Is you know what? I had a fear that I couldn't manage it, that I couldn't manage a house again. And that was a big fear to overcome. Now we've got a nice home and everything else, but it's your habits. So I guess I'm gonna get on next. I don't know how much time I have left here.
Half an hour.
Okay, all right, good. We got some time. So, but your habits, your daily habits. What are you doing with your time? You have to get to a point when so many of us stay where we are. We freeze, get in the fight or flight because we're afraid of change. You're afraid of change. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes life throws fucking change at you, and you have no choice but to adapt and overcome or die. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So what I started doing was started applying some of those things to build my mental fortitude, to kind of rewire some of those neural pathways and stuff, if you will. There's a lot of little tricks you can do that I learned and things like that. But basically, the biggest thing I guess I could read with you guys, don't ever quit, don't ever give up, all right? But change. Don't be afraid of change, okay? So question for you guys. Time, money, emotions, and relationships. What do they all have in common? Anyone? What's that?
You have to work for one.
You gotta work for them, not really. All your time's gonna give it to you. When did you ever work for that?
You lose it.
They're all precious. Yes, they are.
All under my control.
All under your control. Boom. Time, money, emotions, relationships. If you don't fucking manage them, they will manage you. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And you know what else? They're all interlinked. Think about it. You're having a bad day at work because you didn't get out of bed on time. So you're running late and you're fucking gridlocked because now you didn't hit your window for the traffic. You're running late to work. Now that might affect your money. It's definitely going to affect your emotions, which is also going to affect your relationships with those that you're around, right? And you can add different bubbles and circles to this all you want. It could be health or whatever. But basically, if you don't manage them, they will manage you. So I started out with that, with just time, money, emotions, and relationships. And the way I started doing was doing habits of gratitude daily. You start looking at daily routines. John has a daily routine. You have a morning routine, don't you? What do you do?
Wake up, get up, just get up.
Get up, get going, right? You have things that you do and everything, get on the cardio. I have a morning routine, and everything else. There's a lot of days, especially from the nerve pain and stuff, where nerve pain is 24/7. It doesn't go away. It's just you get better at making it white noise. That's all. And depending on how well rested you are, how well you're taking care of yourself, are you moving, are you exercising? You don't have to go to CrossFit and do this and that, but are you doing stuff? Are you going for a little walk and this and that? Are you doing some squats or whatever? I mean, there's things that we can all do. I mean, I know that you can take regular exercises and you can standardize them back, but basically you got to move. Your body's made to move. Not only that, you'll start changing yourself on a physiological level, basically at the organs and stuff like that. See, the thing is the body, a lot of things too, is we develop all of our own chemicals and chemistry and everything, right? And I know we have a chemistry teacher in here, but we do. We all develop our own things, and there's a way that you can take charge of those things instead of letting them bother you so much to overcome them. Have a new tagline for our company. The reason is, what do you want to do? I'm sorry, I know I probably sound like Joe Biden right now. Hey, that's part of the brain injury. Seriously, my mind goes from here to there and that and everything else. And I asked Alicia, man, I haven't wrote anything out. She's like, you're not going to, just be real. Just get up there. Don't rehearse it, just be real. So here it is, So that's it. I lose track at times. I get on bunny trails and this and that or whatever. But changing your state, as you see on the business card, says, Change your state, look, smell, and feel great. Because life is state dependent. All right? Life is very state dependent. You get down and depressed, and that's a state that you're in, what does your life look like? I don't want to get off the couch. I don't want to get out of bed. I fucking hurt. Everything's worse. You kind of mope through it. Right? Everything else. Life is state dependent, so do things to change your state, your emotional state, your physical state. Whether that's putting on a song that just really gets you going. And another thing that really kind of got me thinking about this was watching my boys wrestle, their wrestling tournaments. I watch them out there and they're getting ready to compete, and they got their headphones on, and they're bouncing, and they're doing all this stuff, and and you can see it in their eyes. They're not there. They're somewhere. They're already on the mat. They're wrestling already. They're rehearsing in their head. I started thinking about that. So I'm like, son of a bitch, why don't I do that every fucking day? Guess what? That's part of my morning routine. I get up before the rest of my house, anybody else in there, and I have about 3 hours to myself, and that's my world. I change my state, man. I put on my headphones, I dance, I put on music, I got coffee going, I take care of my quail, I do my gratitude, I do some breathing techniques, all these things, that you can do that don't cost you any money, but you got to manage your time to do it. Another thing about it, who here has an alarm clock? Throw it in the fucking trash. Seriously. Why? Why do you have an alarm clock? Somebody, please, that has an alarm clock. Why do you have an alarm clock?
Wake it up first.
You can't wake up or you fucking won't. So you got to ask yourself the questions. Questions are the answers. You got to ask the right questions. Well, how can I go without an alarm clock? I'll tell you how. You fucking tell your brain you got to get up. And you'll get up. And the reason why, and I'm not trying to pick on you or anything, but here's the thing. The reason why we live in stress, in a state of stress about 70% of the time. All right? Your body's in a different state and everything else. Your brain might be in theta or whatever, and I'm not going to get into all that, but you're in a different state at that point before you wake up. Now you got your fucking alarm waking up. Guess what? You're waking up reactive instead of proactive. Get proactive. Seriously. Get proactive about your day. You know what? Who here has a hard time getting out of bed? Like you just don't want to do it, so you hit the snooze. Hit the snooze, right? Don't do that shit. Anybody here heard of Mel Robbins? Check her out. Check her out on YouTube. I was watching her. I learned this little trick. She calls it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. All right? Just like you're a fucking rocket ship. You can't count up because it won't work. Because you basically what you're doing is you're tricking your brain, okay? Because your brain is during your body's troops. It's gonna fucking listen if you get it going the right way. All right? So you want to get out of bed? Set a pause instead of hitting that snooze, or fuck the alarm again. Let it go. But you want to get out of bed? I need to get up and hit 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By 1, your feet will be on the ground, ready to go. Try it. It's a simple fucking little trick, but it works. Another thing, John talks a lot about moving with a sense of urgency, and he does, and he always has. I don't know how the hell he can, with his legs being a little bit shorter than mine, can walk as fast as he does, but I swear he's like Michael Myers or something. You got the track star that can do the Roger Bannister 4-minute mile running, and then he's right there behind him just walking still, but in front of him, he's already there. But move with a sense of urgency. Outstanding, definitely. But you know what? A sense of urgency is not enough. There's a lot of people going nowhere fast. Perfect example. I don't know if you've ever been in a swimming pool with somebody who's in a very uncomfortable situation who can't swim well, and they're about to shallow water blackout. I guarantee you that motherfucker's moving with a sense of urgency. But he ain't doing well, so he's waiting for somebody to grab him and pull him out. Urgency's not enough. You gotta have urgency, but you also gotta have intent and purpose and focus. All right? Direct your energy and stuff. It's like one of the things I do cold showers every day. This morning, in fact, I didn't do a cold shower. I lied. I didn't do a cold shower today or yesterday. We're staying at Airbnb out here by the river or whatever. I went down and got in the water for 10 minutes. So that's, just cold water therapy. It works. Body releases chemicals, gets you out of your fight or flight state, stuff like that. But you can't just do it. You can't just go in and go, okay, I'm out. Same thing with showers, right? You can't do it, you gotta have intent and purpose and focus. And so when you go in there, get the cold water and stuff, start controlling your breathing. Short breaths in because our heart beats faster on the inhale, long breaths out because it beats slower that way, and just nice long breaths out, and start controlling, and get yourself down, okay. Settle down your autonomic nervous system and everything. Let it reset, get out of the fight or flight state, and just control your breathing, and just sit there.
Is that Wim Hof?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And it works.
Works for asthma.
Breath, yes, breathing techniques are great. You can change your state very quick, in a minute. You can change your physiological state. You get your body to stop dumping cortisol and shit like that when it's not supposed to, different chemicals, stress hormones and things, and start doing the right things. Another thing about it, who here likes roller coasters? Who here doesn't like roller coasters? What happens, Jody, when you're about to get on a roller coaster and you don't like it?
Anxious,
How do you feel?
scared.
Scared. But what's going on inside your body? Does your stomach get upset and knotted and stuff like that?
A lot of stomach, heart race. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Exactly. So who gets excited and kind of gets those same deals? Your stomach goes, guess what? Same fucking chemicals going on in your body. It's how you're interpreting that. Why can you have two people go to a movie or something like that, one of them love and the other one hate it? It's perception. Perception can either be your power or your prison. True. How you look at shit is that's it. Perception can be your power or your prison. So, the whole better not bitter thing, one of my things was early on is with the right attitude, I don't know who quoted this or said it, whatever, but I've adopted it. But with the right attitude, trials in life will make you better. With the wrong attitude, trials in life will make you bitter. The choice is yours. Choose life. And there's things that you can do, like I said, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally and everything, to help keep you out of that stress state. One of the easy ways I've found for me to tell if I'm in a fight or flight situation, like I said, because we all live in, or most of us live in stress about 70% of the time, is to simply put one hand on your chest and one on your stomach and breathe like you normally breathe right then. Is your stomach rising? The hand on your stomach and the hand on your chest. If it's the hand on your chest, you're breathing out of your chest, which is the fight or flight response. You're not in the rest or digest. You're not using your whole system right here. And that was one of the things Thomas Pierpoint used to work here when I worked here at the old shop. And one day he comes up to me and was like, "You're hurting today, aren't you, Lance?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know?" He goes, "I can tell by your breathing." And I started thinking about that and everything. Man, I'm walking around half the day, skip breathing and stuff, and holding my breath and this and that because of the pain and stuff like that, trying to keep it in me. Okay, well, that's fine for a little while, but your body can't stay like that for a long time at all. Stress is what, like 97, 98% they say all disease and stuff and illness comes to stress related and everything. So you guys really got to take charge of your stress. Take charge of your time, your money. Manage it. Manage your life. Don't let other people manage it like the government's trying to. But you know what? Say you can't do anything on a local level, government's too big for you. Guess what? There are things you can do on your level, on a personal level, to make your life the way that you want it. I mean, there really are. Get around good people. Get around good people. Surround yourself with people. This is the underground network and everything. You need these people in your life. I mean, that's what makes us stronger. That's what makes us better. If I didn't have good people in my life, like John, for example, I don't know where I'd be right now. The way I got out here before, do you remember? So I was in a pretty bad state. I was still on all my meds and stuff at this time, or trying to come off of some of them and stuff. But I was at a really, really low point in my life. And I was sitting in my room, and I was about to check out. And sitting there, and I was like, fuck, this is it. Done.
Glad you didn't.
And I asked myself a question. Remember, questions are the answers, right? I asked myself a question. hey Lance, what's one thing that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done? And I went, well, I've always wanted to do a through hike on the Appalachian Trail, and I've never done it. Okay, all right. Well, you're gonna have to get to the trailhead. It's gonna take you 6 months or so, or whatever. You know, and this is me still with my nerve pain, not, you know, in my legs and shit and everything else. So you can't drive there, because you can't just leave your car there. It's gonna be, well, I've never fucking hitchhiked before. All right, hitchhike. So I made a deal with myself. I was gonna hitchhike to the Appalachian Trail. I was gonna hike the trail. And if after doing that, I still wanted to check out, and there wasn't anything else that I hadn't done or tried yet, then I gave myself a green light. That was it. So I had a roommate at the time, his name was Lance as well. So I had my service dog Rocco, so it was like, Rocco would be like, hi, my name's Lance, this is my other brother Lance. You know? But he wasn't home at the time, and I was like, I grabbed Rocco and I threw a bunch of shit in rucksack and whatnot, and put a note on the door, just taped it to the back door. Hey, took Rocco for a walk. See ya. Or be back later. I think that's what it said. Took Rocco for a walk, be back later. And I headed towards the Appalachian Trail. I never made it. I screwed up my knee on the way, because like I said, bad legs. I wasn't prepared to go and try to, you know, it was just, I was in a desperate moment. I needed to change my state. I needed to change something. I needed to get out of where I was, make a change in my life, and move and do something. Was it scary? Yeah. But it was also adventurous and fun. So there comes that thing there too, where those chemicals, you know what, I'm actually kind of excited about this adventure. I've never done this before, let's go do it. So I didn't make it, but where I did make it to was Nashville. So here we go with networking, okay? Why it's so important. So I get to Nashville, I got my dog, and I thought it'd be good to get him, so I was, you know, with the Bass Pro, I stopped at, we made it to Springfield, Missouri, stopped at Bass Pro, got him some booties and stuff. Thought, all right, man, we got this. I think my dog thought I was a fucking nut. Because that night, after we got in the boots of Springfield, man, this huge freak storm just came in. A lot of snow and everything. And I got a picture somewhere. If you go track down my Facebook, you can find it, I'm sure, in there somewhere, of me and Rocco in an alley. I got a pallet on the ground, another one lean-tuned up against it, and, you know, we're sleeping in there in snow everywhere, you know. But didn't make it to the Appalachian Trail, made it to Nashville. Fuck, my legs all fucked up. I really don't have a lot of money and this and that, you know, whatever. But I knew John was here in Tennessee. So I called John. John's like, where you at? I was like, man, I'm sleeping on the side of the interstate at mile marker or whatever. There was a bookstore down there, because I bought a book while I was waiting on you to come get me. It was a good book too. And it was a book that talked a lot about mindset and everything. So, but John came and got me. So networking is very important. John and Amanda brought me here to kind of rest up and heal up and stuff like that, get back on my way, kind of. John looked at me and was like, dude, I remember, you're like, you fucking dude, you need to take better care of yourself. You're not doing good. But they took me under their wing and everything else, and kind of showed me some stuff and got me back on my feet. Gave me confidence again and everything. Because here's the thing with mindset. I had gone through all these years in the hospitals and stuff, sitting in meetings and stuff like that with the insurance and this and that and everything, talking about me like I wasn't in the fucking room. Well, you know, right now he's about an 8-year-old's level on what's okay and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Lost track again. Welcome to my world. At least I don't have a time machine like I used to. I can tell you stories about my time machine.
Mindset, John, got you to 8 years old, doctor.
Okay, yeah. So 8-year-old. So, thank you. So, my therapist and everybody, people that I loved, my wife, my son, my mom, people that truly cared about me and everything, started putting limitations on me. You know, you can't do that. If you do, you're going to fall and get hurt. You know, what's the chance of, you know, reoccurring another brain injury? It's pretty high if you already have one. In fact, when I was out at Center for Neuro Skills, I was out there with an attorney that, and had a brain injury like 10 years prior or whatever. Woke up one morning, stumbled out of bed, hit his head on the coffee or on his nightstand, fucking resetting right back to day one. So, you know, they're like, you can't do these things. I used to love to hunt, to fish, to hike. I'm a very, very outdoorsy person. You can't do that anymore. You go fly fishing, you're gonna slip on a rock or something, you're gonna hit your head, this and that, da da da. Well, Parker's mom and I had kind of gotten into a argument because I was, you know, wanting to go hiking and do stuff again and everything to find out if I still liked me or not, or who I was. And so I got in my truck with my camping gear and everything, and I went to, drove down to Custer. We lived in South Dakota at the time, Black Hills. Drove down into Custer State Park. I parked at the Centennial Trailhead parking deal, and I got out and I started hiking with my pack. And Parker's mom and Mason, they got down to Kansas to visit family time. And so, you know, I was kind of there on my own. I didn't tell anybody where I was or anything, I just went. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see what this is all about. So I get on the Centennial Trail and I start hiking. All of a sudden, this fucking storm blows. I don't know what it is with me and storms. This storm blows. Every time I put it back, I can't hike anymore. Fuck it. that just hit me. That was an epiphany. But anyways, right, exactly. Maybe that's what I should start doing, some rain hikes around the country and stuff.
You're in the drought, yeah, for
Right.
for 25,000, I'll come down and
I'll hike your property. You bet. You bet. I'll even camp out for another 50. So I'm heading up this. Anybody ever watch like the reality shows from Sturgis and so forth? And they always have whenever the big storm comes through, right? The hailstorm and stuff like that. So up there, the way that system works, they just kind of go around in circles and stuff for a little while and keep pounding the same area, it seems like. So one of those storms comes in, I'm about a mile away from the truck. And I'm heading uphill on the Centennial Trail. And the storm comes in, and there's just lightning striking and thunder and everything else. And I got struck by thunder, you know? I don't know if you know what that means. What that's like. My oldest son used to watch Snow Dogs. They always call him Thunder Jack, one of the guys on there. Why? Because he got struck by thunder. You can't get struck by thunder. You can't. You can't get struck by thunder. What I mean by that is I had thunder strike so close at the percussion, I felt all the fluids in my body move, and it fucking triggered something in my head. Sent me back, probably to the explosion or whatever. I was terrified. And I got rain coming down the Centennial Trail, and it's like, you know, almost to the top of my boots or whatever. And now all these words and these thoughts, you can't do this, you can't do that, da 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 da, are going through my head in my moment of about the shallow water blackout, if you will, or whatever, because I'm starting to panic. So all these thoughts and all these words of people who cared about me and loved me, all these limitations started coming up in my head. And I can see it now. I see a lot of things. I see a lot of things in cartoons and stuff, kind of my mind movies, you know, and everything else. It's like I can see it now. Rapid City Journal. Recon Marine drowns on Centennial Trail. And that was a reality to me at the point, because I thought, man, on the next rock, I'm gonna slip, I'm gonna fall. I got my damn rucksack on my back. I'm gonna hit my head or something. I'm gonna hurt my spinal cord again, or I'm not doing. I'm gonna drown in this damn water coming down the trail, you know. And that was a reality for me. And so I finally found a place that I thought, you know, maybe within another mile or so that I thought was safe, where I wouldn't get hit by lightning or anything. And I set my tent up for the night, and I was praying. I was like, Lord, you get me the hell out of here, and I'll never fucking do this again. I'm selling all my stuff, da 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 da. You know what I mean? Just everything else. So I get my tent set up, and I'm soaking wet and everything else. I climb inside of it, and in the morning I get up. I probably didn't sleep much that night. Get up, I start packing all my crap up, and all of a sudden I'm like, no. You said you were going to do this. You're going to do it. And it was a 30-mile hike, and so I finished it out. And you know what? I fucking loved it. That night I hiked up to, from there I made it to, my second night I made it to Mount Rushmore. And I went and watched the night lighting ceremony and stuff and everything. And found out that I actually liked doing that stuff again that people told me that I didn't like to do. Started mountain biking again, which was cool. There was a time it was so bad that I think John remembers. I was excited when I was out there in California for the Center for Neural Skills, because I was actually going to get to ride a bike, but I had to go through a course and everything to learn and everything. But Started mountain biking again. You know, stuff that they told me I couldn't or shouldn't do or wouldn't be able to, you know, this and that. I was doing it. Did a couple mountain bike races. Didn't place or whatever, but I finished. Some of them I wrecked my bike and I couldn't finish because I toggled the potato chip my wheel. But, you know, but the thing is the mindset. Be careful what you let into your mind. Be careful what you let in. Be careful what I think you were talking about just a little while ago. Be careful what you listen to, what you hear and stuff. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with myself. Man, I hang out with Tony Robbins. I hang out with E.T., the hip-hop preacher, Jim Quick, who does a lot of brain stuff. I mean, I hang out with all these guys on YouTube while I'm working, or on podcasts, Joe Rogan and stuff like that. I listen to things that are going to help me so I can help others, because honestly, that's my passion. I like to help other people because I don't like where I was or how I was. That's actually how I even got started in doing soap and beard oil and stuff like that. My first product that I ever made was called Better Not Bitter. It's a balm, and you know, I was always using it and putting it on my neck and stuff like that when I got off all my pain meds. And Amanda one day, I think I was down here, she said, "What are you always putting on that smells so good?" I'm like, "This is Better Not Bitter balm that I make, you know, in my van." And, you know,
Down by the river.
right? Yeah, exactly. You know what though? I honestly, I guess maybe I lied to you a little bit. I've never been homeless. I said I was, but you know what? I had a van. That was my home. I was never homeless. Yeah, but I think about it. But so she's like, "Well, can I try some of my back?" So I'm like, "Sure." And I gave her some. She tried some. "You need to sell that." So that's kind of where it all started from. And then I got on YouTube and stuff and started learning the process of soap and this and that. And then I started making stuff and all the recipes that we have back there are our own. I mean, there's stuff that we've developed, which I think is really kind of funny because with my brain injury stuff, I lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste. So, you know, I kind of laugh at you guys. You know, the meme where the guy's getting ready to be hung is like, "First time, huh?" Everybody COVID, "Oh, I can't smell it, I can't taste it." First time, right? So, you know, so I'm sure I drive Alicia and Parker crazy. I'm like, "Here, smell this. Does it smell good?" Or whatever, you know, stuff like that. At times we put things together. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter what your limitations are if you don't feel them as limitations. It's all about perception. All right? Perception, mindset, managing not just your time, money, emotions, and relationships, but managing the shit that comes in there. Because I have this little voice inside my head, and we all have it. You got to think about it. We all have it. I call mine Limited Larry, and he's a little bitch, and he's a hater. And you know what? He's little. He's got this little mullet. I mean, I tell you exactly what he looks like. Shut the fuck up, Larry. Just sit down over there. You know. And that's the battle that goes on in the head. "Hey, Lance, your legs are hurting today, aren't they?" No, motherfucker, don't. And even Alicia, she knows because she's gonna testify to this. She'll be like, "Take a break, relax, rest. You're hurting. You're not gonna be as fortunate." Don't fucking tell me that. You know, I mean, I'm just straight up. I love you, but don't fucking talk to me like that. Don't tell me that. I'm not listening. I'll listen to my body. I'm gonna push it. All right. Getting ready for this event here. That's nothing. Who here likes to gamble or go to casinos? Shift the gears a little bit. Okay. Why?
The adrenaline, yeah,
Random rewards. Yeah. Random rewards. So what they do is they use your body's chemistry against you. Random rewards. Do things for yourself to create random rewards.
What's the first word you say?
Random. Sorry.
Random.
Random rewards. Yes. You know, and that could be a thing like you have get an auto number generator. Pick like, you know, make a little list of like 6 things. You know, you do something, you reach a little goal, you hit it, hit your auto generator, and have one of those things be like your fucking jack price thing. Some of them just be like, "Hey, try again, sorry," you know. Start working on your own dopamine. Start using it for you. Use your chemistry for you. Take that power back. That's how they get the addiction is with the random rewards and stuff. Same thing with lotto tickets, scratchers, and shit like that. Take that power back. Use it for yourself. Give yourself random rewards. Things. Getting ready for this thing. I worked one day. Parker was at his mom's. I worked until 11 at night from about 4 in the morning, getting ready. And I was deadbeat tired, and I was hurting. And Alicia's like, "You need to get to bed. We got a lot of stuff to do." And guess what? Limited Larry's over there. "Yeah, get your ass in bed, you boy. I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck that. I went out in my garage, I poured myself a bourbon, I had my stereo, well, my garage is my shop, and I looked out there and I sat there and I looked at everything that I had accomplished in that amount of time. And the fact that a year ago I couldn't have done that. And you know what I did? I put on my jam and I danced. And I partied. And I gave myself a celebration. And you know what? I felt better. I changed my state. Next morning, I got up and was able to go again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Get your ass in the shower. Cold shower. You start with warm water? No. Cold water, Larry. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ooh, yeah, this is great. You know? I mean, you start, and that's it. Start your day. It starts out, your personality becomes your reality. You ever met a grumpy motherfucker that's just grumpy all the time, no matter what? What was the Cat Williams? You mad at breakfast? Man! You know? It is. Your personality will start to reflect your reality and those around you. The energy John was talking about, guess what? It's contagious. Courage is contagious, all that stuff, fear, everything else. The people you get around, the vibe that you're throwing off and stuff like that, it's contagious. Others pick up on it. So, be good to yourself, be good to others, love yourself. Thank you guys all for your time and everything and allowing me to get up here and just be real and share with you guys. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I've got Staring the Fight back there. I've got some great soap and stuff that we make. Who's anybody, I know, who's here using Staring the Fight since they got it? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I can move my knee.
It's a game changer. It works. I was telling somebody yesterday, Parker and I will go rucking some mornings and stuff like that. And if I'm hurting and everything, there was a while we didn't have it because I didn't have the wheels to make it. I was waiting on me to get in, and he was stomping me on the rucks. I mean, he was leaving me behind for like 2 or 3 days. Guess what? My oils came in. I got Stand and Fight. I put on my instant. I left him back by about a block that next day. Kid you not. I'm joking. You just smoked me. Nice to be young again. So, but hey, thank you guys all. God bless, nothing less. Peace. Love you. Thank you.